analyze the scene, I have no access, or I had no access to certain activities that happened during the investigation of this matter. My role was just to verify whether a particular bullet or particular bullets, that is the tests and the exhibits, have a common origin. That's all that I did. The rest of the other things in this matter, I have no personal knowledge. That is why I indicated from the onset that whatever I will be commenting on with respect to either the investigation of the scene or the processing of the scene, that will be based on pure speculation, because I've got no personal experience with those matters. I've never been to the scene. I've never seen those, even whether we talk about the chain of custody from the scene, I did not seal those things, the exhibits from the scene. So the rest will be just speculation from my side. But what I can answer with certainty is in respect of the microscopic verification I have conducted in this matter.
Engingasho-ke ukuthi mina angizange ngikwazi ukuthi ngiye endaweni yesigameko, angizange ngibe nethuba lokuthi ngiyongena mhlambe ekuhlolweni nami ekuphenyeni kwaleli cala. Umsebenzi wami nje kuphela bekuwukuthi nje ngizosho ukuthi-ke umsebenzi wokuhlola izinhlamvu ukuthi khona yini impawu ezifanayo kule inhlamvu ethole endaweni yesigameko nenhlamvu ekuthestwe ngayo, kukhona yini impawu ezifanayo. Anginalwazi olunye olungaphandle kwalokho. Engingakwenza-ke nje mhlambe ukuthi-ke ngiqagele, ngoba angizange ngifike endaweni yesigameko, futhi nokuthi zaphathwa kanjani-ke izinto ezatholakala lapha endaweni yesigameko angikwazi nokuphendula lapho, ngoba angizange ngibe khona lapho. Engifuna ukuletha nje la enkantolo engingaphawula ngako ukuthi izimpawu ezisenhlamvini eyatholakala endaweni yesigameko nakulezi ezisenhlamvini ekwahlolwa ngayo i-test bullet ziyafana noma zifani yini. Yikona lokho kuphela.
Now I appreciate your answers, but I wasn't specific about the question that I've asked you. My question is, let me just put it this way, maybe you'll understand it. In general terms, is the firearm capable of changing hands in general terms? Is that possible?
Umbuzo-ke ukuthi izibhamu uyakwazi ukuthi isibhamu sinikezelwe komunye umuntu yini?
In general terms, yes, it's possible. Firearms can move from one person to another.
Yebo, uma sikhuluma-ke nje kabanzi, yebo isibhamu singasuka komunye umuntu siye komunye.
So I'll get into the scope within which you were called to testify on. But since you were working in that office, I just want to find out whether it has been possible, it has ever happened to you to collect exhibits from a police station without the case administration office, or without the being commanded or being instructed by your commander. Have you ever collected an exhibit from a police station?
Why in a police station wayolanda mhlambe-ke i-exhibit ethize ukuthi awuthunywanga umkhuzi wakho?
What I can say is that in the past it happened that we were also transporting exhibits from the lab to the stations.
Yebo, kwakwenzeka ngaphambilini ukuthi sithwale-ke ama-exhibits sosisa elab sosisa ema-police station.
Especially when our storage safes were filled to capacity.
Uma kuwukuthi-ke la isefo esebeka kuzona sigcwele kakhulu.
So in the present, because it was in the past, in the present, what is the position?
Manje-ke nje ukukhuluma ukuthi kwakwenzeka ngaphambilini, manje-ke kulesikhathi samanje kwenzeka kanjani?
Currently it did not happen. It has not happened.
But my question is, particularly you, in a singular form, have you ever collected an exhibit from a police station for the purpose of examination?
From my side, if I can recall, I collected certain objects for the purpose of examining tool marks, like pieces from doors.
Yebo kukhona izinto engayozilanda ukuze ngize ngizozihlola.
So that they can be further processed at the lab.
Ukuthi ke zizoqhubeka zihlolwe lapha laboratory.
But in this case, I'm concerned about ammunition and the tools, the firearms. Have you ever?
Ngikhuluma ngezinhlamvu namathuluzi ngisho ke izibhamu.
No, currently the circumstances has never dictated that I do that.
But working from that office, for the purpose of conducting an examination, are you permitted by any law or any standing orders to collect a firearm or an exhibit from a police station?
What I can say is that under normal circumstances we don't collect them, but they could be, I cannot rule out the circumstances that can come into play wherein the examiner may be forced or may be compelled by those circumstances to do it.
Can you give me of one circumstance that may compel a member to?
Isibonelo sesimo singaqoqelela ukuthi busy ke ngokuhlola aqoqelele ukuthi ahamba ayolanda exhibit police station.
I cannot be able to give a list of those circumstances because there are certain circumstances that may come into play that never existed before.
Angeke ngakunika ke uhlulwe lezimo ngoba ke khona izimo ziba into esiqala ukuyibona.
There's evidence before this court by Lieutenant Colonel Mangena that he may instruct or request the investigating officer to collect a particular exhibit from the owner of a particular exhibit of firearm or from a particular company of business. But in the case where he collected a firearm at Cleveland, there was no need to inform or to request the investigating officer.
Can I just ask you to break it into
all right.
two?
Thank you, sir. I'll do so. There's evidence before this honorable court led by Lieutenant Colonel Mangena to the effect that if he needs a firearm or a particular exhibit, if that exhibit is with the owner or a particular company, he may request the investigating officer to go and collect. But in this case, he went to collect an exhibit at Cleveland without requesting the investigating officer to bring it to his office. Can such a circumstance compel the member to go and fetch a firearm or an exhibit without requesting the
I cannot answer this question simply because I do not have access to all the circumstances that happened during that time. A decision cannot be divorced or detached from the circumstances that existed at a particular time. So I do not know what happened during that time. As I've already said, that my involvement in this matter is only in respect of verification of findings.
So in this case, as I've just demonstrated in court, if Lieutenant Colonel Mangena, you told this court, even himself, that the test that a member after the examination may apply a subjective test in his finding. Am I right?
Colonel Mangena utheke amanye amalungu ngenzeka ukuthi emva ukuthi ehlolile ngeza namanye ukuthi azobona ukuthi wona abona kanjani kanjani.
Is
The test is subjective.
Is it in respect of microscopic examination?
Correct, yes.
Ethi-ke yebo kunike sikhuluma nge-microscope kuhlolwa nge-microscope.
As I've already stated before, the interpretation of the marks which are already on the surface of the bullet, that interpretation is subjective in nature.
Njengoba sengichazile-ke ukukhipha umbiko noma ubhala umbiko mayelana nokuhlola yikona-ke kutheni umuntu ubona kanjani.
Because it is based on knowledge and skill of the examiner, which comes from training.
Ngoba kuphuma ekutheni umuntu uchwepheshe kangakanani lokuthi uqeqeshwe kangakanani.
But the marks or the features that are considered, which are on the specimen, they form part of objective facts.
Kodwa-ke okulapha iy'mpawu ezilapha kulezi zinto esihlolwayo yezinto lezi ezingancikile ekutheni umuntu ubona kanjani.
But are there any, if you may think of, other than the knowledge and the skill, are there any other external factors that may influence the examiner?
Ngaphandle-ke kolwazi nokuqeqesha zikho ezinye izinto ezingenza ukuthi mhlawumbe zibe nomthelela endleleni abona ngayo uhlolayo.
When I talk about ballistics identification, I must confine myself to knowledge and skill.
Masikhuluma nge-ballistic ithi-ke ngikhulume nje ngolwazi nokuqeqesha.
Because it is the one which creates competency for the examiner to be able to make certain deductions and reach certain conclusions.
Ngoba yikona-ke okunomthelela ekutheni ugcina esebone kanjani umhloli.
Before I conclude my cross-examination, the act or the circumstance that we have discussed, whereby the examiner went to collect an exhibit from a police station, can that not necessitate a finding adverse to the outcome, to the positive outcome of the matching?
Ukuthi umhloli uhambe wayelanda isibhamu lapha ngeke kube nomthelela yini ekutheni umphumela ube mubi umphumela uyohlola.
For the same reason that I've already given, I cannot answer this question because I do not know everything that happened for that particular decision to be taken.
Ngalezi zathu-ke bese ngisibekile angikwazi ukuphawula lapho ngoba angizazi zonke izinto ebezikhona ngaleso sikhathi.
So you cannot even tell the court whether the exhibits that were collected, especially the bullets, were they all the full metal jackets mixed with the same complete metal jackets, or were only the complete metal jackets?
Okwazi ngikuchaza ukuthi inhlamvu ezasetshenziswa ama-metal jackets noma complete metal jackets.
That I'll be able to tell the court because it will not be speculation. It will be based on what I have personally seen.
Yes, can you please tell the court? The ammunition that was collected by Lieutenant Colonel Mangena from Cleveland Police Station, were they full metal jackets or complete metal jackets? Colonel Mangena Cleveland. Metal jacket, complete metal jacket.
No, what I'm referring to when I say about...
No, I understood that. This is the follow-up question.
No, I want to clarify my answer.
All right.
So that it is placed in the correct context. When I refer to things that I've seen, I'm referring to the bullets that I compared under the microscope. I'm not making any reference to ammunition that was collected by Mangena or any other person. Because I did not see that ammunition.
And this court was told that if it's Colonel rule officer or an officer rule officer, I'm not sure about the rank, but when he conducted the test, he was using a full metal jacket.
So ke warrant officer noma uKenneth officer wathi mehlola wayesebenzisa i-full metal jacket.
I hear that.
Ngiyakuzwa lokho.
A question from an expert or an analyst like you. If he was conducting a test on a full metal jacket, he cannot use the complete metal jacket.
Usho ukuthi uma esebenzise uhlobo lwe-full metal jacket angeke akwazi ukusebenzisa i-complete metal jacket.
Can he use the testing ammunition or bullets? Let me just be practical and say, if Rudolfs conducted test on a full metal jacket, can he further take complete metal jackets to do further tests?
Uma ke uRudolph esebenzise ehlole inhlamvu full metal jacket angakwazi ukuthi aqhubeke ngokuhlola esebenzisa ama-complete metal jacket.
That will depend on the scope of what he's doing.
Lokhu kuzoncika ekutheni indima enikwe ingakanani.
If he's doing a comparison with another exhibit on record, and the exhibit is of a different material, he will have to fire more tests with the material that is as close as possible to the material on the exhibit.
Manje uma uthi khona exhibit anayo eyakho ngensibethize, uma ukuthi ke ufuna ukuthola ke umphumela ongcono kufanele adubule ezama ukusebenzisa ke inhlamvu yenziwe ngensimbi esondelene kulolu hlobo lensimbi yakhe ngayo i-exhibit inhlamvu ye-exhibit.
Even our procedure is very clear that you must use the material which is as close as possible.
Inqubo yethu isho njalo ukuthi ufanele uzame ukusebenzisa ke uhlobo lwenhlamvu olusondelene kakhulu mayelana nensimbi ke eyakho ngayo nalena insimbi esekule bullet ezohlolwa
as close as possible to the exhibit.
Ayisondele kakhulu ngohlobo lwayo kule nhlamvu ke ye-exhibit.
That is why we have a minimum threshold. The minimum is two test fires.
Yikho ke sinesilinganiso esincane esisetshenziswayo ukuthi kufanele ube udubule kabili ungadubuli kanye kuphela.
But we don't have the maximum.
Kodwa ke asinaso isilinganiselo sangaphezulu la kuthiwa khona kunqunywa khona ukuthi ungaqhubeki weqele ngale kwazo.
In your case, you reviewed or you verified the work done by Lieutenant Colonel Mangena on bullet number 8 and bullet number 4. Correct?
Wena ke wenza wahlola umsebenzi wenziwa uLieutenant Colonel Mangena usebenzisa ke inhlamvu number 8 and number 4.
The comparison that I did was between the exhibit bullet, which is marked with a lab number, and additionally A2. That was compared with the tests marked 369TB4 and 369TB8.
Mina umsebenzi engawenza ke ngawenza ngale exhibit ngale mhlambe exhibit engayithola ethi kumele thola inamba yayo yaselab igcina ngo-A2 ngiqhathanisa ke nalezi izihlambe ama-test ezadutshulwa ezazine-nombolo eziwu-369TB4 no-369TB8.
So with regards to 369TB8, you said it was a full metal jacket.
Uthe ke le nhlamvu ke u-369TB8 yayi-full metal jacket.
That is correct, my lord.
Yebo kunjalo.
And the 369TB4 was this CMJ, a complete metal jacket.
Before you know CMJ.
That is correct, my lord.
So the test bullets that was used by Colonel Mangena was TB5 and TB9.
Manje ke inhlamvu yokutest izinhlamvu abathesta ngazo aqhathanisa ngazo Lieutenant Colonel Mangena kwaku-TB5 no-TB9.
I hear that.
Ngiyakuzwa.
Which one was the full metal jacket between the two?
Yiphi ke full metal jacket yiphi eyo?
Completely.
Is it in respect of Mangena's tests?
Yes.
Usho ke mayelana nokuhlola okwenziwa uMangena.
I do not know. I cannot say with certainty because those tests were fired by Mangena.
Hayi angeke ngikwazi ukutshela ukuthi kwakuyiziphi inhlobo ngoba owadubulayo la ma-test kwaku-Lieutenant Colonel Mangena.
So your verification was only limited to 2 sets of bullets?
Usho ukuthi wena ke ukubukeza kwakubhekeneke nezinhlamvu ezimbili kuphela.
For verification purposes, I used TB4 and TB8.
Ukuthi ngilethe ke ngibukeze ngasebenzisa u-TB4 no-TB8.
But the examination by Mangena was not only related to TB4 and TB8.
There
were further tests.
Before the TB8.
There were further tests that were conducted by Mangena.
That
So
is correct.
your focus was mainly on TB 369, TB8 and TB4.
What I can say is that when Mangena handed the tests and the exhibits to me, he gave me everything. That is from TB1, I think, up to TB10.
zonke inhlamvu mase ukuthi ngiyosihlola wanginika ngicabanga ukuthi kwakusuka lapha ku TB1 kusuka ku TB10.
And I had the opportunity to look through all of them from 1 up to 10.
Ngakwazi ke ukuthi ngizibuke zonke kusuka kweyokuqala ngiyofika kweyeshumi.
My apologies, I think I might not be accurate with the total number of tests, my lord.
Mhlambe ke ngeke kunephutha lokuthi ayemanga sazingakulezi inhlamvu.
But there were several tests which were no less than 8.
Kodwa ke engikhumbulayo ukuthi lezi inhlamvu lezi sazingekho ngaphansi kwesishiyagalombili.
But my question is, when I ask you about TB5 and TB9, you could not give me an answer whether were they full metal jackets when they were tested or not.
Engibuza wona ukuthi ngathi wena uzangikwazi ukungitshela ukuthi TB5 TB9 kwakuyiziphi into noma full metal jacket noma ungeyona yini.
It is because I did not record what each and every test, I mean the type of each and every test, because it is not required.
Angeke ngibhale phansi ukuthi kwakuyiziphi inhlobo engangizibhale ngoba bona akudingeki.
But what I can say is that TB4 is CMJ and TB8 is FMJ.
Engakusho uTB4 uCMJ uTB8 uFMJ.
So you did not have your diary to record whatever that you were verifying.
There's a minimum amount of information that is prescribed to be populated in the worksheets that we use.
But
So
so proceed.
If there are no boundaries or parameters, you will end up recording each and every detail to an extent where your case file can go up to 1,000 pages.
Yes. You concluded that there was a positive matching in relation to the test that you have verified. And your evidence is mainly about TB4 and TB8.
Although I went through all the other tests, I decided to select TB4 and TB8. As they will represent the rest of other tests. Because they have a common origin. They were all fired. They were all test fired in a single firearm. So I'm entitled to select the representatives and use them for identification purposes.
That was on the 23rd of July 2020, correct?
Give me the date again.
The 23rd of July 2020.
23 July 2020.
That is correct, my lord.
That was 6 years after the incident that happened on the 26th of October 2014.
I hear that.
So these officers, I don't know their ranks, but I was told it's Feljun, Feser and Tini.
Please repeat the question.
I'm saying I don't know their ranks, but the state mentioned that there is Feljun, Feser and Tini. Are you aware that they also conducted verifications?
Uyazi yini ukuthi nabo babukeze?
I'm not aware, my lord.
Angikwazi lokho.
The court has also ordered that they should be called
Inkantolo ke isikhiphe isicelo sokuthi nabo ababizwe.
as Section 186 witnesses.
Njengoba ke ufakazi ba section 186.
So in your answer, are you saying you are not aware if they also verified the work of Mangena?
Manje wena ufazi bakho ukuthi awazi ukuthi nabo babukeze umsebenzi kaMangena.
I'm not aware, as I did this verification independently by myself.
Hayi mina angikwazi lokho ngoba mina ngenza umsebenzi ngingedwa.
I'm not aware if there's some other people who participated as well.
Hayi mina ngazi ukuthi mhlawumbe kukhona yini abanye abenza umsebenzi ofana nowangangikwenza.
I think I've concluded my cross-examination.
Okay.
I've concluded my
Oh, I
cross-examination.
see. Okay, thanks. Yes, Mr.
Thank you, my lord. Dumela nkgono.
Dumela ntate.
My lord, there's members that we should take a short adjournment.
Okay, what's the time then?
11:23
Okay, so 15 minutes.
Sure.